In this video, I'll break down two hires that we did for a fast-growing cannabis marketing firm. The founder didn't want to keep running everything himself. He had used cheap VAs before, but this time he wanted two genuinely good people that he could build his team around. So we made two hires in Latin America and saved him about $140,000 a year, and I'll link his testimonial down below in the description of this video. So this client runs customer retention for legal cannabis dispensaries, email, SMS, and loyalty programs built on the client's data to keep the dispensary customers coming back. They run it on a platform called Alpine IQ, and it's basically the Klaviyo of the cannabis world, because in a regulated space like this, you can't just use these standard types of tools. We narrowed it down to two roles that they need to hire for because they were growing very quickly. The first was a retention strategist. It was someone who was going to own the campaigns, run the Alpine IQ accounts, and then present those results to the clients like they were the founder of the business. They had to be client-facing, technical, and have experience in email and SMS. The second was a right-hand man or a chief of staff, the type of person to handle the client follow-up, manage the internal team, so the founder would actually get his time back to actually just focus on growing the business. So for both of these hires, we ended up hiring from Latin America, specifically Argentina, for the retention strategist. There's a lot of people who deal with email, SMS, and loyalty programs in Argentina. There's a lot of different email agencies that have a bunch of staff based there. So people are familiar with the different programs, familiar with email and SMS, and it was the right fit. Not to mention just the time zone of them being near shore. And for that second hire, we ended up hiring from Venezuela. Now, Venezuela is not a place that we're normally hiring from. You see about it a lot in the news, different changes that are happening there. But in this scenario, the candidate was perfect. They had the exact skills that our client needed to be able to grow his business. So both of these hires got filled in under 4 weeks, and each of these roles would have been quite expensive in the United States. So he saved over $140K that he could put back into his business, and he didn't have to deal with cheap talent. He got someone who was really good and he could trust them on client calls. So if you're tired of getting by with cheap talent, you're not actually sure what exact roles maybe you need, where to hire from, this is exactly what we do. And we've done this over 400 times. Book a call below. We'll map out your business, show you the types of talent that you need and the time zone and the location that it makes sense to hire them from.